and Wednesday from 9 to 10:30.
Robots the size of blood cells, Earth-like planets outside the solar system? Science fiction?
No, science faction.
Join us, Seth Shostak and
Molly Bentley and
KSJE, Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. for Big Picture Science.
Big Picture Science steps back to get the wide-angle view on science and technology.
So think big. Big Picture Science, Saturdays at 8 a.m.
on KSJE, the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners.
KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, here to meet your urgent and emergent medical needs, whether they are COVID-19 related or not. Medical emergencies happen when you least expect them. Whether it's a stroke, heart attack, illness, or injury, San Juan Regional Medical Center's caregivers are here to provide care to you and your loved ones. Find out more online at sanjuanregional.com. Ten minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Monday morning, September 27th, 2021. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air, of course, here in San Juan County, New Mexico. 103.3 FM over the air in Durango, Colorado, and streaming everywhere else on the planet from our website, KSJE.com. Welcome also to our viewers. This is a visual radio program streaming live this morning to the KSJE Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and our Twitter accounts. We're glad that you are with us this morning, everybody, because we have a big show coming up today. First off, we're going to be talking about P.A.T.H, People Assisting the Homeless here in San Juan County. Their big fundraising event is coming up this weekend, a chocolate affair, one of my favorite topics. We'll be talking more about that in the next few moments right here on KSJE. And then later on this hour, we'll be checking in about the Aztec Highland Games and Celtic Music Festival, also happening this weekend in Aztec. So we hope you'll stay tuned for that, starting at about 8:30 this morning on KSJE. And at 8:50 a.m., it's our weekly technology report, Monday Reboot. That is coming up this morning with my guest, Lewis Campbell from Synergy Computer Systems. Next hour, Mick Hess will take us roving with the arts. It is classical music, of course. Mick is playing music this morning from the Lincoln Trio. You'll hear that coming up at 9:06 after the news. And this morning, the trio is playing music from Ernst Bacon. That's coming up on Roving with the Arts today. Don't forget, you can also connect with KSJE on our Instagram page on social media as well. And if you're a podcast person, subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts for free, of course, on iTunes and Spotify and Pandora and iHeart and Podbean and lots of podcast places. Wherever you listen, chances are KSJE is on that platform. So subscribe to our podcast and check out all the other programs that we offer here at KSJE. Our weather forecast, well, it's a cloudy morning this morning on this Monday, 56 degrees outside our studios here at San Juan College. We're expecting a mostly cloudy day today with off and on chances for showers. The high 71 in Farmington. Some scattered showers tonight with a low of 52. More chances for a scattered rain shower the next several days. 72 for a high tomorrow, 70 Wednesday, 67 on Thursday, 66 on Friday, 68 on Saturday, and overnight lows, as you can see, mid-40s to right around 50 degrees. Well, let me turn to my guest who is here with me this morning to talk about P.A.T.H, People Assisting the Homeless. Executive Director Amanda Lobato is here. Good morning, and thank you for coming in this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. It's great to have you here to talk a bit about P.A.T.H and this big event coming up, a chocolate affair. As I said, I have a weakness for chocolate, and I bet a lot of people do.
Yes, definitely.
This is a big fundraiser for P.A.T.H, right?
It is. It's the 11th annual chocolate affair.
Wow.
I just started with P.A.T.H last year, and we did our 10th annual one, and we had to change it a little bit due to COVID. And this year also we've changed it as far as when it's happening. Historically, it's happened in February, around February, and this year it's in October. It's October 2nd, this coming weekend.
Okay, and it's going to be held at the museum, the Farmington Museum at Gateway is the name that we're supposed to use for it, right? Everyone knows where it is. It's the Farmington Museum on East Main Street.
Yes.
But that's a great location for events like this, and kind of walk us through. If folks haven't been or or haven't been in a while because you've had to change things around a little bit, it's really a sampling of chocolate, isn't it?
Well, it is. It's a gathering. It's so we're going to have wines of the San Juan there, and then some chocolate from Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, and some chocolate from Dip Delights. We're going to have catering, light appetizers from Canyon Cafe. We're going to have the band Breezing playing, so some music, some auction items, and everything. All the proceeds are going to go to help our 3 programs that we operate.
Right. Now talk to me about those. Those are, I think we're familiar with the shelter, but there's a lot more than just that.
Yes. So P.A.T.H, People Assisting the Homeless, has 3 different programs that we operate. First is the shelter program, which is very well known in the community, and then there's transitional housing that also is like an extension of the shelter. So there's 12 units, and that's a 2-year program. Mm-hmm. And then we have free meals that we serve Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 12:30 at Daily Bread location, which is 405 South Barron. Oftentimes people don't associate the two, but we're all the same agency.
Right, which is important. And that is a great service, I think, too, especially during the pandemic. I think a lot of folks really relied on Daily Bread for at least that 1 meal per day, right?
Yes, and we continued to operate through the whole pandemic. We just adjusted how we were doing it.
Yes. So, doing it COVID safely and things like that, right? We
were doing like carry out, and now we're back to dining only. And so, and with that said, we need some more volunteers to join us, because before COVID, there were a lot of volunteers that we had, and it was very supported. And understandably, some people haven't, been back out yet. So.
And volunteers for Daily Bread, for all 3 programs?
Well, mostly Daily Bread.
Okay.
Because Daily Bread, the meals that are served daily to the community, mm-hmm. We have 3 staff there, and then rely on volunteers to help.
Gotcha.
Serving at the serving time.
I see. That's what you need help with,
mm-hmm.
is the serving. Mm-hmm. And I've done that before as a volunteer, so okay. That's pretty. I can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Is what I'm trying to say.
It's pretty.
It's pretty easy. Mm-hmm. And so they can just call P.A.T.H to sign up if they want to be a volunteer.
Yes.
Okay.
So they would call us. We have a calendar, so we try to get commitments of one day a month, 1 day a week.
Whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. You're pretty flexible. It sounds
pretty flexible.
Okay, good to know. And with the Chocolate Affair, talk to me a little bit about tickets and how we get into that event on Saturday.
So the Chocolate Affair is, the tickets are $30 a piece.
Okay. And
you can purchase them in person at our location, which is 520 Hydro Plant Road, or at Sunglass of Farmington. It's on Main Street. On
West Main,
yes,
right? With
West
the big
Main.
Man on top, right?
That's
Isn't that
right.
I mean, you can't miss that if you're looking for him. Yes.
And then the other location is 505 Motorsports, which is out on East Main. So we tried to
You have bookended the city
yes.
with ticket locations. That's great.
And then they can be purchased online at our website as
okay.
well.
And what's that address? Do you have it?
www.pathnm.org.
There you go. Easy to find. Mm-hmm. So, perfect. And it'll get started what time on Saturday?
It starts at 4 and it's through till 7 p.m. Our silent auction's going to be about 6:15 when we'll do those drawings, and you don't have to be present to win. So if someone wants to stop by for a while but not able to stay until that time,
right.
they can still enter the drawing.
Okay. Very good to know. And you mentioned this was the 11th Chocolate Affair that you've done, that P.A.T.H has done?
Yes.
Wow.
11th.
It's gone on for quite some time. And I do remember that normally it's around, I think, Valentine's Day, maybe in February. But, of course, the last couple of years, things are all out of whack a little bit.
Things are different, and so we were adjusting. And then we also have the Mayor's Ball for the next 3 years, and that's going to be in March.
Right.
So we tried to, change our dates.
Spread it out a little bit.
Yes.
Yes, because I imagine when you're a nonprofit, you've got a lot of volunteers you rely on to help plan some of these things. And so an event in February and a Mayor's Ball in March may be a little tough on your volunteers.
It would. It would.
Right. because that's a big deal, and it's a great event. And congratulations on getting the Mayor's Ball, because that's a major fundraising event and a big community event. And again, the mayors of all the communities kind of come together to support the nonprofit that they selected. And so this is a great thing for P.A.T.H for the next 3 years.
It is. And that was something that the past executive director, Jonah, did. So she was had made the proposal and submitted everything. And so, I came into it, I stepped into it, and I wasn't aware of it. And yes, it's a blessing. I'm very thankful for the opportunity.
Right. Very, very exciting. Well, good luck with that. We'll, of course, talk more about that when we get a little closer to March, but I imagine your planning committee is hard at work, right, putting some of those pieces together.
We did do a lot last year, and then we had to put it on hold because we were going to try and have it in June.
Right.
And then we had
Things
to
changed.
So then we decided, okay, we're going to have to wait till this March.
Right.
And so we had a lot in place, but we're going to start meeting again in October after we get through the chocolate affair. Then we're going to start on the Mayor's Ball.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So perfect. Well, good luck with all of that. And talk to me a bit about the shelter program that P.A.T.H operates. And I imagine during COVID, that was really an important thing for families and people to have in the community, that service.
Yes, it was an adventurous year for us.
Right, that's
And
one word to say.
Yes. And we're thankful that we were able to stay open and continue to operate. Some places in the state had to close due to COVID cases and things, and thankfully we never had to close. We had to operate at 50% capacity, and still are operating where we are practicing social distancing, still wearing masks inside the building, still following precautions of quarantining and things like that. And many families, we had to adjust where we served lunch when we didn't before. P.A.T.H hasn't really been a program where we offered lunch because we had daily bread,
right,
and so people could go there for lunch.
But then they couldn't.
But then things changed, and some kids or families, the children were in online school, so they were staying in to do that. When the state was at stay-at-home order, we did that as well. We practiced that in the shelter, only out for essentials, things like that.
Right. So very different from what you're used to, I'm sure, and all of us, very different for all of us,
right,
for that matter. And normally the shelter can hold what? What's your capacity at the shelter when you're 100%?
I've heard that they've had up to 70 people, but
okay.
I think
comfortably,
yeah,
maybe less than that, but
yeah,
but still a lot of people. And like for anyone, if you've got a congregate setting, that's hard to kind of control sometimes when you've got this pandemic that's going around. So I could see why you'd want to kind of be careful and cut occupancy back a little bit and follow those rules.
Yes.
Which is what you've done.
In our pre-screen process, we ask people if they've had a negative COVID test, or now if they're vaccinated, now that we have the vaccination, which it really made a difference for us.
Good.
It made a difference because then when people come in, they don't have to quarantine if they're vaccinated. And so I'm thankful that we were given that option in our community, in the world, in our community.
And that's open to your then residents who are coming in, right? They have the option to be vaccinated or quarantine, I suppose.
Right.
Is how you do that.
Right.
So then everyone is safe at the shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And they can stay in the shelter for how long? What's the program offer?
It's a 90-day program, and whenever there's a pre-screen process to enter our program. It's not a night shelter, so it's not a place like that you just come and stay the night and then go back and maybe come a few days later, stay another night. It's a program, so once someone is approved for the program, they open a file. We open a file for them, and they are to job search and gain a source of income, unless they already have a source of income when they come in. And if they do, then they continue that, and they're following like the house schedule. They're getting connected with resources. We're working with them to empower them really, and see what things that they can focus on that's going to keep them housed they're going to gain housing and stay housed.
Right. And try to maybe break that cycle of whatever got them into the homeless situation to begin with, I suppose. If they can stay there for 90 days, get a job, get some stable income coming in, save some money for maybe a deposit or
Right.
or what have you, that's kind of the goal, is it not?
Right. And some people are eligible for other resources in the community. The San Juan County Partnership has housing assistance, and so we'll make referrals and get them connected there. There's some resources for veterans through the Goodwill. There's things through ECHO. You know, if once we know each person's situation, then we know what resources to refer them to and to connect them with.
Right, which is great. Well, it's a great program. As I mentioned, I've worked with United Way, so I've kind of known about P.A.T.H for a long time as well, and all the different things that it provides. And I think it's been a godsend for a lot of clients who come to you, and their kids too.
Yeah,
So-
because we're the only shelter that helps families at this point.
Right.
Only homeless shelter in the county that is working with families, other than the domestic violence shelter program. But if someone isn't experiencing domestic violence, then we're the only place that they
Right.
have at this point.
Which is great that we have that for our families and our residents. So good to know. Once again, Chocolate Affair happening on Saturday at the museum at Farmington Museum at Gateway. They're on East Main Street. And tell us again what time it starts.
Starts at 4 p.m. and we'll be there through 7 p.m. And you can buy your tickets. They are going pretty fast, and we do have a limited amount because
So it
we
may sell
had to
out.
plan.
Right. Got you. For capacity and things like that, I
Yes.
imagine, right? You have to limit how many people can come. And so you can get them at the 3 different locations. Your office is one, or the
Yes.
shelter, right? There's the office there.
Yes, the shelter office, 520 Hydroplant Road, Sunglass of Farmington, West Main, and then 505 Motorsports on East Main, or our website, www.pathnm.org.
There you go. You can check it out. But it's the 11th annual. I can't believe it. 11th annual
know.
Chocolate Affair. But sounds like a delicious evening.
Yep.
Thank-
I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people,
I'm sure you will.
a lot of our supporters.
It'll be great to see everybody there. That's true. Well, Amanda, thanks for coming in this morning. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. That is Amanda Lobato. She's Executive Director of P.A.T.H, People Assisting the Homeless, my guest on KSJE. KSJE is proud to support the Aztec Highland Games and Celtic Music Festival, October 2nd and 3rd at Riverside Park in Aztec. Music from Big Patty, Smelter Mountain Boys, Patrick Crossing and Devil's Dram, and featuring the Highland Games Athletic Competition. Plus, Scottish vendors, food, and clans. Find out more online at aztechhighlandgames.com.
If you have a phone,